forgiveness is a choice that we make. It's just as simple as that. We decide to forgive people. And there's a great story in here about our next door neighbor who her husband was an angry alcoholic, and he was really difficult to live with, and he carried a gun, he was dangerous, and he shot their house up, and he burned their clothes up in the front yard. He was just crazy. And later, she became a Christian. Her and her young son, they divorced from him and moved to Alabama. Well, Chuck moved there too. That was his name. Towards the end of his life, he became very sick, and he was dying, and they were older, and they hadn't even spoken to each other in years, and she found out about it, and she called him and said, I know you're sick, and I know you're dying, and I know you don't have any medical insurance and nobody to take care of you, and so I want you to move into my house, and I'm going to take care of you until you die. And she took him in to her house in spite of what her family said and people around her who just didn't understand it at all. I called and asked her about it when I was writing the book, and I said, what made you do that? She said, you know what, I can't just wear the bracelet that says, what would Jesus do, unless I'm actually going to do it. And she said, I really felt like that's what Jesus would do, and I needed to be obedient. And so forgiveness is a choice that we make, and there's power in forgiveness, that it transforms the people around us, that the other decisions that we make about in anger to get our pound of flesh or whatever it is, doesn't really change people. It does change us, but it changes us negatively. And it's just shown over and over again in there, where there were so many points where my mother and the people in her orbit could have decided to hire lawyers and go get, take back what was theirs or get their rights or whatever. They decided to do something completely different. And the results, I think, speak for themselves, especially towards the end of the book when you see that all those people who shouldn't be in her world, family and friends and all that they're all there and they won't go away. They're going to be there forever, apparently. So.